Gayatri, and I'm going to share with you today a few yoga poses you can do, some restorative yoga that can help you sleep better. And these poses also help you to process emotions. So sometimes when we can't sleep, we're distracted and there might be something bothering us emotionally. And the first pose that we're going to do, it's helpful if you have a rolled blanket or some cushions or something like that. And you're just going to put whatever you have behind you, and you're going to lie down with that along your spine and bring your hands out to your sides. And you can have your knees bent or you can straighten your knees. And you could do this pose even just with a pillow under your back. And what is happening here is we're letting the shoulders roll down. We're letting the front of the body open. And we tend to so often round forward in everyday life. Looking at the phone, looking at the computer, driving the car. And so this pose helps us to go the other way. It opens the heart, it opens the front of the body, so it can create kind of this vulnerable feeling, but a release of emotion. So when you're holding this pose, you want to also try to relax. You want to breathe deeply. Opening the chest with the inhale breath. With the exhale breath, just relaxing and go. And as you're holding the pose, observe your thoughts, observe your mind, and allow any thoughts that come up to just gently release. Try not to get into thinking a lot. Try to just feel and be in your body. Notice the sensations that you feel. And if any emotions come up, like if you feel like crying or anything like that, then that's a great emotional release. Let that happen. Make sure that your breath is always moving, that you're always taking deep breaths. And if the breath starts to get shallow or choppy, be gentle in how you will begin to lengthen and deepen it again. So try to do that gradually without forcing it, just being mindful. And you can stay in this pose for a long time, especially if you feel like your shoulders are relaxing, your back is relaxing, you might have some tension there. You can continue. Pay attention to how it feels when you exhale. Letting the tension release. For now, we're going to join this pose with a forward bend. So you can go ahead and sit up. And for this forward bend, we're going to sit cross-legged. And you could do this without any props, but it is also helpful, especially if you're tighter in your back and your hips, to maybe have something in front of you to put your head on. So I'm using a block. You could use a stack of books or anything, a little stool. But we're just going to lean forward, and you can make fists with your hands and rest your head there. And if you find that your support is too high, you can lower it. You want to go as low as you can without straining or being in pain. And then once you're there, again, go back to that deep breathing. And notice where in your body you feel resistance. Where do you feel that it's harder to stretch, where there's tightness? And just think about the breath going to those areas. And again, you might feel an emotional release because we tend to tighten up in different parts of the body and store emotional experiences there. So when we're doing yoga, those things start to release. And if that happens, great, just let it go. Continue with your pose, always using your breath as your anchor for your mind, bringing your attention back to your breath. And while it's harder to breathe deep in this rounded forward pose, You can feel that compression in your abdomen when you breathe. This is good for your internal organs. And just take a few more deep breaths. Try to relax anywhere you feel tension. Go ahead and sit up. We're going to do one more pose. This one's on the side. So you're going to lie on your side, and again, you could use a rolled blanket or a pillow, cushion, anything under your side waist. And you're going to take your bottom arm, bring it out overhead, rest your head on the arm. Take your second arm and bring it overhead, palms together. If you have a block here, you could also put the block between your hands. It's a nice way to just keep the shoulders open, or another object could go between your hands. I'm just going to lie on the side for a few deep breaths. Bring the side body stretch and open. So again, whenever we stretch deeply, and these stretches become deep because we hold them for longer. Whenever we stretch deeply, we might feel some emotional release. And it's great to just let that go, especially if you're having trouble sleeping. It can help clear your mind, calm your emotions. All right, we're going to go ahead and switch to the other side, so you can just turn over. Lying on the opposite side, and again, placing something under your waist. This is just for the comfort of the hips. Bringing the bottom arm out overhead. Second hand on top. Coming back to that deep breathing. Feeling your body relax. Notice where you're holding tension. Sometimes all it takes is just being conscious of it, letting it go. Let it go. Let the breath release anything that's unneeded. And just a few more breaths. And then go ahead and release the pose. And we can come back up to a seated position. So those are a few restorative poses that can help you relax any time of the day, but they're especially good before bed to help you sleep well. Namaste.